Well, at the end of last month, I said that I would give a better assessment of the Brewers. Maybe I didn't actually say it, but I thought I would give a better assessment of how can we catch up to the Brewers once we figure out, you know, if we're able to start, getting some games back. Not necessarily in terms of, the games back, but the Brewers need to catch up on games played because they were like 4 games back or something. Well, they have gotten back pretty much all of them. It's now we're now gaining games back because we're on like a 17 game played streak. I'm pretty sure, so that won't be fun. Thank you, Blue Jays. But yeah. So they have grown a full extra game, which is not fun. The when we got to the break, we actually gained a couple games, but now, wow. Let's start the month of July with a little bit of the finale of the series against the Padres. Now the Padres have stuck to exactly what they were at the start of this month, 2 games above 500, and we certainly helped them keep the status quo with a 23-3 win. Swanson with 3 homers on the day. We actually scored runs for once. It's amazing, I know. So yeah, that was cool. Getting some runs in, everyone getting some good hits in, and yeah. But then the next game was not fun. We go up against the Cardinals. This is basically the reason why we haven't really been doing a whole lot this month outside of gaining a couple, 4 games above 500, and that's mostly because the early stretch was just god awful. Losing 17-1 in the next game. This is with Peterson starting, so obviously the giving up the 10 runs there was not really conducive, but he would redeem himself the next couple, so I don't really care. You're gonna have bad games, and if the offense is only gonna score a run, then you might as well just throw all your chips in. We also threw out this Bryce Wilson guy for 3 innings. He also decided to not do anything, and what do you know? He's back with the Brewers. So yeah, he's now pitching for them, and all of a sudden he's sort of figured out how to pitch the ball. Not against the Giants though. The Giants are hard to crack, Mo. Hollowell, we'll get back to you, I guess. And then we lose the finale to the. This is at home, by the way, and we don't even score. Like, what are we? I mean, this game probably should have been called. This was the game in which Fogg just decided to take over. Reminder: this was the point where the Cardinals were actually somewhat close. Like they were within like 2 games. It's like, oh no, that's not good. Well, it doesn't really matter. They've had a terrible month outside of beating the Cubs in that first area. Uh, Losing series to the likes of the Angels, playing a 5 game series against the Brewers and losing 4. It's not. It's not great. Yeah, that's also the Brewers were able to gain 2 games in the next series, and yeah, they certainly gained them. But speaking of games, we do at least win the next game, so we aren't swept. That would have been terrible, but yeah, it was an Assad start because we're still waiting for certain players to get back, most specifically Talion. He has not been back. He'll be back later, I guess. But Pomeranz gets a win. We he's oh yeah, Pomeranz. He would get cut later. Yeah, we've been actually shedding a lot of talent. Mostly because they haven't been that amazing to get rid of some guys that were just not doing well. But now we have the Orioles. The Oreos. We win the first game. The Orioles would have a resurgence after this series, but as of now, they're sitting 8 games under, and it clearly showed with Boyd getting a good performance out there. Some decent hitting, I guess. 5 runs is good enough. I don't know. Amaya scored 3 of them. That's kind of funny. Not like RBIs, but in terms of runs. We win the next game. PCA is able to hit 2 home runs. Good job. I'm proud of you. Rhea is able to get the win, despite, being Rhea and Pomeranz trying to throw again. Webb has apparently decided to become a closer, so that's cool. At some point in this month, I don't really know when, but we got the most in Cubs history, I'm pretty sure. The most amount of players to get a save in Cubs history. Which is really telling because it's August and Palencia is still not back. So, please come back. Palencia, we need you. There's going to be a couple blown games later. Please. Why are you still injured? You haven't even gone to rehab. Please. We lose the next game, of course. Giving up 2 runs in the 8th to lose the game 3-2. Turd Ferguson, as one would say. That's not great. I have no clue how the blown save is on Rollison when he gave up a good zero runs. I don't know. I feel bad for him, but now we head to the second road series. We go from the greatness of Camden Yards to Great American Ballpark. I don't know. Whatever the case is, we can't hit against Hunter Green. He strikes us out a crap ton of times, and the game ends when we decide to put out this guy named Jake Woodford. I don't know who this guy is. We DFA'd him the next day. I don't know. We picked him up July 4th, and then from the Brewers, picked him up, cut him. He cleared waivers. He then became a free agent, and then went back to AAA. I don't understand. This guy has a very weird trajectory, but yeah, he kind of sucked in that one. Hasn't pitched since. But what do you know? We actually score runs against the Reds, and we win the next 2 games. Yippee! Good job, Bregman. You hit a home run. I am so proud of you. At least you have more home runs than Kelly, but not by much. Hey, look, Pomeranz gets a win and a blown save in the what now? Anyway. Next game, just Bregman decides to hit the ball again. 4 RBIs. Boyd does well. So that's nice. So now we have a good old home stretch against the T's and the Tigers. We lose to the Twins because, of course, we can't have nice things. Also, Ray is starting, so mediocre defined, I guess. But we win the next 2, and what do you know? 10-1 in the final one. Imanaga finally got some run support. Yay! Mm-hmm. No, it'd be after that. Now we get the Tigers, the good old Tigers. We go into 10 innings, and we shit ourselves pretty badly with Thornton in there, and then Assad gets an unearned run scored against him. I don't know, man. I don't really know why he got in there for a 1 inning performance. I think it was because of that instance. No, we cut him. We can't even see him on that one. Whoops, whatever. Yeah. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Was he the starter in this one? yes, Talion finally has come back, and he gives up 4 runs in four innings. So not the best day, especially when he gives all that up in the first inning. So I'm sure he'll at least stay around. Right. We win the next game. Offense reigns supreme. PCA is able to hit the ball a couple of times before getting subbed off. 3 walks, which 11 walks on the day. I don't know what they were doing, but 2 pitchers used. And what do you know? Peterson got the shutout. I know, incredible. A guy that has actual pitching, talent is actually doing something. I get he still has a 5.8 ERA, but to be honest, he's a live arm, and as long as the hitting does its job, he should be able to win. We still lose the series to the fucking Tigers though, because Arraez is pitching, which Arraez is not an automatic loss. It's just you're going to give up at least 2 to 4 runs, and if the offense is only going to score 1 off of Seiya Suzuki, then you just didn't deserve it. So that's the end of that. But it's now time to go face the Pirates. Hey, look, another 10-inning game. Apparently, this back half of the month is featuring a lot of 10-inning nonsense. But hey, this one we win. Good job. You beat the Pirates 1-1 heading into the 9th, and you score 2 runs in the 10th off of a single and a walk. You really should have scored more. Almost fucked yourself over, but hey, whatever. It's fine. Boyd gets 7, almost gets ruined by the offense. But despite the fact that Hollowell gave up a run, he still gets a save. What is this? No, he has more appearances later. Then we beat the Pirates 11-0. Apparently, our pitcher, Imanaga, decided to also give up nothing. And what do you know? Assad comes in for 3 innings and gets a save. Yippee! So, Assad is still kicking around. It's amazing what you can do with a live arm that can actually throw for like 60 pitches on a consistent basis. So, woohoo. We're going to need that, I guess. But then the final game, we lose 8-7. Now, that doesn't seem out of the water, but it's then when you realize that it was 7 runs in just the second and the third inning that basically just killed it. And no matter what the Cubs could do in the late game, they were just not going to get enough. And that was Talion. And he gave up the 7 runs. He finished out the career. At that point, he was 2-6 with a 5.92 ERA, worse than Peterson, mind you. And the Cubs thought it was good enough, and he was let go, DFA'd to oblivion. I don't know what his waiver wire, not waiver wire, fuck, that's fantasy football wire, whatever you want to call it. I don't know what it is, but it's a lot of money. $18 million this year. It was the final year of his contract, and we were kind of just looking to let him go. And yeah, he's a good locker room guy, but by the end of his career, he just wasn't putting up the performances that we really wanted him to. He was getting outperformed by Rhea, who is significantly older and cheaper. So at that point, you just got to cut your losses. And for now, at least, Assad will become the 5th starter again, which I'm okay with. He's fine. He doesn't go 6 innings ever, but he can go 5 somewhat. At a somewhat decent pace. He's better than Talion, so. But it wasn't. I will miss him. It would have obviously probably been better if he was actually okay and stuck around until the end of the season. I wouldn't have seen the team re-sign him to a contract. So, whatever. It had to go. He had to. When you're getting outperformed on a consistent basis by Savalier, you're just not. That's just not going to work out in the end. I'm sorry. But on to the next series, where we play a good old four game series against the Cardinals. And, well, you win the first one with Peterson starting. He gives up 2 runs. Hollowell gives up 1, but at that point, it doesn't really matter. It just happens. But when the offense and the rest of the pitching staff is able to do well enough, Horner with 4 RBIs, 4 for 5, I guess. Then that works out. But then 10-2 victory. Good job. 7 runs in the first 2 innings. Rhea just has to cruise for 6 innings. We do get the debut for the Cubs of Andrew Wantz. He got summoned to the big leagues for this one game and then got immediately DFA'd. So not the best for him, but whatever, it's fine. He served his purpose, I guess, for 2 innings, and now he's been chucked back to whatever. Then we lose the next game, the 6th MLB game of the season, where both teams entered, where it enters 0-0 into the 10th. The game ends 3-2. The Cubs actually decided to score something off of PCA home run that was, expertly pimped, but unfortunately, Thornton just shit himself, and that just was not. It was not going to work. Boyd gives up no runs in 7 innings, and we lose because of it. Because our offense is just ass, and then the pitching staff just decides to do nothing. Gastelum is definitely bailed out for the Cardinals at this point. Just a overall terrible performance. Left on base 8, but the Cardinals had 9 left on base, so it's a moot point at that point. But then we win the next 10-inning one, so I guess that's fine. Savalier able to hold down the fort at least in extra innings. Hollowell kind of fucks him, he gives up no runs, but Hollowell would end up on the IR with injured list with shoulder inflammation. He's basically the only big injury. We've had a bunch of DFAs, but the injury bug hasn't really hit this month too hard, so I am happy for that. I just hope that doesn't come back for August and September, because that would kind of suck more. If we're able to be healthy for the rest of the season, I do believe we'll be able to at least get 90 plus wins. That would be nice. I don't know about 100, but 100 probably isn't even enough for the division, so we'll see about that. Then we get to the rough stretch where we play the Yanks and the Dodgers, and we start out with the only game to cover this month, a loss to the Yanks. 2-0. The offense just forgets how to play ball. Ramirez is, for some reason, the best guy out there. He has a whole 2 hits today. Imanaga gives up 2 rogue home runs, and that's basically the end of it. Imanaga is a fly ball pitcher. We've known that. This was basically the scouting report that we got when we brought him over, and it's not a surprise. It's a little annoying, but it's not a surprise. And if anyone is, it's he gives up solo home runs. Okay, you should be able to score more than 2 runs, but whatever. You got 2 more games in the series against the Yanks, and then you host the Dodgers. So just do better. Just do better. That's pretty much my entire yell at him. Do better. The Cubs are in a pretty ouch stretch where they have to play a bunch of games in a row, thanks to the Blue Jays taking up one Thursday. Basically because they just decided to, can't reschedule a game when they really didn't need to. But August will be, of course, crucial to actually keep the foot on the gas. They aren't necessarily playing the hardest teams. September, they will definitely play harder teams, but this early part in August should set the tone for are you going to be good or not? Are you going to fucking collapse, or are you going to actually continue with, that? Um, as for the wild card place, which we're definitely gonna have to chase at this point, because it's not looking like we're gonna be able to get that get that wild card spot, and get the division spot. We are 5 games ahead of the curve, ahead of the top place. We're 6 games ahead of the Padres, which it's hilarious that the Padres are only half a game ahead of the Marlins. Yes, that's the Marlins logo. Tried to draw that one thing, but nope. The team has played well for the fact that they have been injured so much. They definitely shot themselves in the foot with the fact that they did not play well in the early part of the season. So it makes sense that they're kind of there. Not necessarily not necessarily all the way there with the amount of injuries we're still dealing with, from the past, but we're still able to hit the ball occasionally. It's not as consistent as I want it to be. Last month was a lot more consistency. This month has definitely fallen off. I wouldn't be surprised if there is some sort of backslide, unfortunately. But as of now, it's okay. It's going to be really hard to catch up with the Brewers, but we definitely have cemented ourselves as the 4th best team in the NL. It's just going to be really annoying that that we're trying to go up against the second best team, maybe even the best team in the NL. So yeah, that'll be rough. They made a trade earlier today. I don't know if it's that consequential. It's a two for two. I think it's just a big league swap. So the good thing though is that we don't have to worry too much about the teams below us. I was a little worried about the Cardinals for a second, but then the Cardinals just returned to how they were, which is mediocre at best. So the Pirates had a little bit going where they decided to sweep the Brewers before the All-Star break, but then they kind of just fell off back to what they are. Unfortunately, they are below 500 now, which it's a common occurrence for the Pirates, but this late into the season, they're still somewhat fighting. They're just below the Marlins, fighting for a playoff spot. That's always great. Maybe another wild card appearance will be able to boost your morale or whatever for football season. But the Cubs, in terms of winning the Chicago battle, the Cubs are only about 4 games ahead of the White Sox. It's a little unfortunate that the White Sox have decided to actually play good baseball. They're leading their division and second in the AL, which is utterly hilarious because, again, they are 4 games back behind us. But, it's technically a difference between the 4th best NL and the 2nd best AL team. So I guess they have it on us, but maybe we should have, joined the American League in the 1800s instead of the National League. So. Damn shame, I guess. Damn it. Why didn't we think of that? 140, 20 some years ago? Damn it. Why didn't we think of that? What have you. It's fine. The NL is definitely more stacked than the AL, but that's not really saying much. The Astros are back up top in that one division, so unfortunate. Gained 4 games overall is just mediocre, but losing a game back against the Brewers is not fun. Especially since if the fucking Brewers finish second again, that means that we're going to have to play them if we do win our wild card series in another NLDS. And honestly, I just don't want to go through that again. I I would, if the Brewers are going to do anything, they should just finish first so we don't have to go anywhere near them until the champion NLCS. And I know that means that the Braves would have to drop some games. I haven't actually looked at the standings in a little bit, at least up top, because us poors are having to deal with this nonsense. Ah, right. They have to deal with the Dodgers. Well, they're only a half game back from the Dodgers, and they have to play a game. But they could dethrone the Dodgers, but then that means that we have to play the Dodgers or have to hope that the Braves do something. But the Dodgers would be a unique opponent, and you know what? We can tell them thanks for sweeping the fucking Brewers last time, because that was fun, right? That was the only time I ever rooted for the Dodgers. Fuck them anyway. We have to play them in a series. But the Cubs are fine. I don't know how we're alive in the sense that the players that we have out there are still going, and the hitting crew hasn't necessarily changed. While we are getting in some of the youngins of Ramirez, we had Alcantara before we demoted him for Ramirez. Dean isn't necessarily a youngin, but he's a guy to fill in for PCA during the blowouts. Just get PCA some rest because he desperately needs it somewhat. Yeah. As for the MVP race, PCA somehow leads the NL and I think the entirety of baseball in WAR. Just simply because he's goated. Ohtani has not pitched in some time. The Dodgers are looking to get him pitching again. I think if Ohtani pitches the rest of the season, he'll win MVP. But if he's shut down for the rest of the regular season, they just save him for the playoffs, which I believe they should do, especially when the Diamondbacks are kind of just sitting in second place and the Padres aren't really pushing them much more. I believe that they could just shut him down for the rest of the regular season, get him ready for the for the playoffs. I think then if Ohtani pitches, he wins MVP. If he doesn't pitch, PCA should win. Because yes. PCA has been playing very well in center field. Center field is definitely a position where you have to cover a lot of places, and he is fast, and he has not been hit with any sort of calf injuries, no leg injuries as of now, so he is fine for now. He will always have to contend with the brick wall, but to be honest, he plays center field, so he doesn't have to contend with it that much compared to a right or a left fielder. So, that'll always be something hanging over him, but I think he'll be fine. The rest of the team just needs to get better. Bregman needs to play better. Kelly is doing exactly what Kelly plus Amaya is supposed to do. Hap is okay. I mean, a lot of teams would love to have him, but I feel like you could find better left fielders. Suzuki has definitely transitioned well into becoming a everyday outfielder compared to him being DH last year. So that's good. I'm glad that he's able to at least go back to his regular position and actually play. In place of Tucker, who was just and the outfield, and considering what he's doing with the Dodgers, it's fine. It's fine that we have given up on him, and we're gonna get a first-round pick next year. So, yeah, that was official. We have gained a first-round compensation pick for him, or was it this year? No, it was next year. So that'd be amazing. Getting an extra first. You always love extra first round picks. Always more chances at the first round. Or was it this past season? I don't remember. No, the past season was for some. No, it was. No, Kyle Tucker was something else. Never mind. I get a first rounder for something. I don't know. Let me see. 2027 MLB draft. Let's see. Is there an order? Order. Let's see. Let's see. What's the order right now? So, oh, it doesn't really have one. Shit, that's not great. Okay, I thought we got an extra first. I don't know. I really don't know. I need to look at Kyle. No, so that was a second round pick for Tucker. Damn it. Okay, whatever. I don't know. I thought we heard something about first. Who knows? I might be lying. Who knows? 2027. I have no clue what the 2027 draft will bring, but we'll see. We'll see how the draft picks go. I don't really give a shit about what the 2026 draft became of. We got some guy named Cade Townsend, a pitcher. We picked a lot of pitchers, I will say. So that's always something, I guess. Yeah, that's always something. Where's our next pick? Caden Sorrell out of A&M, and then okay, I guess we don't have that right now, but the Cubs did also pick up a Nebraska player, so I'll always be happy for that, I guess. Yeah. Hey, CC Sabathia, interesting. I don't think that's actually the wrong guy, but whatever. Yeah, I'm okay with the progress, but hopefully by the next time we get around, we should be getting somewhere closer to 20 games above 500. And if we're not, then the thought process of potential regression is correct. That'll do it for me as of now. I'm going to go get ready for other stuff. And yeah, I will see you guys later. Bye-bye.